Just a quick video, guys. I touched up on AEW. I was touching up on AEW 250 the other day. And now I want to just talk about Collision a little bit. And I want to talk about how useless and pointless, honestly, watching this Collision and watching Collision in general is. So, if you didn't know, AEW Collision, they just revamped the show, kind of. It's a revamp, quote unquote, but basically what they're doing is they're hosting the show in a smaller venue for the next 6 weeks. So they're hosting it in Esports Arena in Arlington, Texas. It holds 2,500, but I think with how they have it set up, it's 1,300 or something like that, 1,250 or 1,300. So, and they sold it out, so that's fine. You know, it's not a crazy number to sell out, but you know they sold out. They sold out the whole venue, and it's a revamp too. They had a new stage. They had this new intro music, this horrible new intro music that sounds basically the same as the Dynamite music. It sounds like a crappier version of it, frankly. And they pretty much tried to throw this thing together as a revamp. They had one or two really big highlights they were trying to really put out there for everyone. The debut of Hologram. And I can't be the only one. And we're not going to go over this damn show, by the way. We're not. There's a reason why. It's because there's not a reason to watch. There's not a reason for you guys to be informed about what's going on in the show. There's nothing here that's very interesting. Seriously. If you're an AEW fan, if you're a wrestling fan, all right, there's no reason to keep up with the show. There's no reason to watch Collision. Go enjoy your Saturday. I worked all the way. I had a lot of work today, so I worked until late night, but I watched the show later on. I just knocked out after, but there's no reason to watch this. And I'm glad I did it in that format because I was able to just go and like clip through and just watch what I wanted to watch because there's no reason to really watch this show. I mean, seriously speaking, fake pro wrestling is not worth watching if there's not a reason to watch. If you don't give the viewers a reason to be like somewhat engaged, it's just not always really worth watching. And then, and let me just make that clear. It's not always the case. Sometimes you can have a match for the sake of having a match, but it's just like, again, like, what is the value in watching Collision? So look, we'll just quickly like talk about it. Darby had a match, he won. There was the Sheeta Sky Blue thing that happened, and it led to Sky Blue's injury. There was one very good match. It was the Roddy Strong match versus Ishii. This is the only person currently on the entire program who benefited, I think. It was Roddy Strong. Roddy Strong is being pushed well right now. He even got like a new finishing move. It's pretty much that knee that he gave to Dalton Castle. That drove me. By the way, I'm very upset about that. I'm going to just go off on a little tangent. I love Dalton Castle. So he's one of the few things I really like about Collision and Ring of Honor. So that's a fucking tragedy. Dalton Castle is going to be off TV for the rest of the year, though, because he's injured from that match with Roddy Strong the other day. But that's beside the point. All right, whatever. But that's horrible. I'm wishing the best for Dalton Castle. But Roddy Strong, he benefited the most. He got a win against Ishii. He got a new finishing move now, pretty much. It looks like that running knee, the jumping knee, which is so much better for him because he's a small guy. So it's like, how the fuck is he lifting people and putting them in the air? It's like dumb because most of the people he goes against are pretty big. It's, and he's kind of being booked as like the man of his group. So, again, and he gets another win. It's just to rev him up for his match against Mark Briscoe. That's really all it is for the Ring of Honor World Title next week. But still, he benefited the most from the show. There's an FTR segment, and Cash goes into his legal issues. I don't care. Like, nothing of substance, nothing. And what's the storyline here? They just want the tag titles again. The only storyline. That's it. When it comes back to FTR is this great tag team to everyone, but their whole shtick is like, we just really want the top. We're just the top guys. We just want the titles. Like, and I, you know what? That could be a good shtick sometimes, but it's so boring and saturated that I don't care. And whatever. But it was an okay enough segment, and it got the job done, and it reintroduced them again, so it's fine. There was the hologram thing. This is what they were really hyping up. I thought hologram was going to be like, not Ricochet, to be honest. Hologram wasn't going to be Ricochet, but I thought hologram was going to be like a random person, like a whole. It turned out I forget who it is. It's a Mexican fighter or Mexican wrestler, and he's pretty good. Like his entrance is really cool. He's on top of people, like he's climbing on top of people and he's doing all this flippy dippy stuff, but he's cool, like nothing crazy. There was a Goldust segment with the Von Erichs. Don't care. Mark Briscoe promo. Don't care. No, that's not true. The Mark Briscoe promo is cool. That's fun. And he talks about blood and guts. I don't care about blood and guts though, because there's no story to blood and guts. There's no story to blood and guts. Once again, like maybe there's, maybe there's no reason to watch Dynamite either. But that's not true. But there's no story to blood and guts. There's no story to blood and guts. That's the truth. Blood and guts there's very little there. There's little tension between anyone there. There's tension with Swerve. Everyone else is kind of whatever. The Acclaim, there's this fake manufactured tension with them wanting to go against the other tag team in the Elite, but nothingness. We'll get to Blood and Guts. Blood and Guts, the match should be pretty cool. That's going to be really fun, but we'll get to that. We can get to that another time. And then the show ends off with the Patriarchy winning the titles. This is also the only other substantial point of the show, but even then, no one cares about the trios titles. And they got rid of the other two, so it's just like now it's just the regular trio titles. The other two are just gone. But yeah, now it's just the regular trios titles. And I don't think anyone cares. Like, it's unreal. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't care about the trios titles. I could have watched Dynamite and learned that news, or I could have went on X and learned that news, and I would have been okay. I would have been okay. I thought the Patriarchy was going to win anyways, but I would have been okay either way. I didn't have to watch this the match wasn't that good. The match had a weird ending too. It looks like it got fucked up. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sorry. Yeah, it looks like it got messed up. I mean, to be honest, Mother Wayne comes in and like pepper sprays someone. She just sprays someone. I think she meant to spray Bryce Remsworth, but it doesn't even look like Bryce Remsworth gets sprayed. So it just looks like Bryce Remsworth is just on top of Christian. Like, he's just getting all up on Christian. And he's trying to stop Juice Robinson from finishing the match. It was a bizarre ending. I had to go back and like rewatch it a couple times, and it didn't really matter. No one cares. No one cares. That's the thing. No one cares. That's the theme with Collision. That's still the theme with Collision. No one cares. No one cares. Tony Khan doesn't care. The wrestlers don't care. The Elite don't care. The EVPs, they don't care. No one cares. It's just a sideshow. It's just a sideshow. It's just a little side piece for people. It's kind of depressing. It's just a sideshow. There's no reason to watch. They got the cool stage now, I guess. I like that it's a small venue. People are mocking them and memeing them. No. Sometimes you take steps back to take steps forward. This is a good step by AEW, bringing in a smaller venue. This is a very good step, actually. Start creating more of a intimate feel again. I think that's a good thing. I think that's a nice theme for AEW, because it's a wrestling show. It's very much a wrestling show. So, make it intimate. But for the people who are watching, even in there, it's like, what were you watching for? And I guess it's just to go see your favorite wrestlers. That's really it, right? Just to go see your favorite guys perform, because there's not really for the love of the game. Because other than that, there was no reason to watch this. It's been like that for a long time. But this was a revamp, so I'm thinking, all right, give us something. They gave us a title match and title change, but it's a trios title, so no one really gives a fuck. I don't know. It's cool. It's fine. It's fine. AEW is going to continue to do this show, so that's how it's going to be.